an orca surges forward with remarkable speed, discipline, and power. Each close approach reveals that this is not merely a pursuer, but a master of coordination in the ocean. Amid towering waves and swirling water, every possible escape route quickly narrows, and the most formidable force is not its strength, but the intelligence guiding every move. At up to 30 feet long, the orca is the largest and most commanding member of the dolphin family. It operates in tightly bonded pods, using collective intelligence to dominate vast marine environments. The combination of acoustic communication and hunting strategy places the orca among the ocean's top predators. From the Arctic to the Pacific, this species stands as a powerful example of unity in the sea. The great white shark has long been regarded as one of the ocean's most powerful icons. With a body reaching up to 20 feet, an extremely sensitive electroreception system, and explosive bursts of speed over short distances, it is a hunter that commands caution throughout the surrounding waters. But when orcas appear, even that symbol of dominance can no longer hold the top position. In the waters of New Zealand, orcas do not rely on simple aggression, but on a carefully calculated strategy. They coordinate their formation, using pressure and synchronized movement to push the shark into a disadvantageous position. With a mass of around 15,000 pounds, the leading orca delivers a decisive strike that forces the shark off its usual swimming axis. In that moment, the balance shifts. When turned upside down, a shark can enter a state known as tonic immobility, a temporary condition of stillness caused by muscle response, leaving it almost completely unable to move. It is here that the orca's dominance becomes most evident, not only through strength, but through precise knowledge of the shark's biological vulnerability. The ultimate objective is not a display of power, but the concentrated energy stored within the shark's massive liver. Across the vast ocean, the most formidable predator is not always the strongest, but the one that turns intelligence into a decisive advantage. In the ice-covered waters of Antarctica, seals often treat floating ice as their final refuge in a risky ocean. By resting just a few feet above the surface, they can temporarily avoid many of the dangers below. But for orcas, that barrier is not the end point, only a layer of defense waiting to be broken. To reach this prey, orcas display one of the ocean's most remarkable group strategies: wave washing. When a seal is spotted resting on an ice floe, a pod of 3 to 5 orcas quickly lines up side by side and accelerates together. powerful tail strokes and synchronized swimming generate an artificial wave strong enough to wash the seal into the water. If the ice remains stable, they immediately change their approach, using their body mass and force from below to shake the structure, turning a secure resting place into an unstable sheet of ice. But the deeper significance of the hunt lies beyond the outcome itself. Mother orcas often control the pace of the attempt, so younger members can observe, learning how to coordinate formation, time their movements, and create the wave with precision. In the harsh polar environment, this is not only a hunt, but also a transfer of survival knowledge that has helped this predator maintain its leading position for generations. Deep beneath the open ocean, immense size does not always guarantee complete safety. The blue whale, the largest creature ever known, reaching lengths of more than 100 feet, has long been considered nearly untouchable. Yet when a solitary individual enters the wrong moment and place, it can become the focus of one of the most complex hunting efforts in the natural world. Across the vast sea, a large pod of orcas begins to deploy a strategy often described as a form of respiratory blockade. Working in rotation, they surge across the whale's back, using their several thousand-pound bodies to apply constant pressure and limit its chances to surface for air. It becomes a prolonged contest of endurance. Orcas rely on superior agility and coordination to gradually wear down a giant that can weigh up to 300,000 pounds. In response, each powerful sweep of the blue whale's massive tail is an effort to break through the encircling formation. But the collective intelligence of these ocean hunters keeps the formation tight and controlled. As fatigue slowly builds, the enormous size that once seemed like an advantage begins to turn into a heavy burden for its owner. Along the Patagonia coastline, where the boundary between ocean and land shifts with every wave, even a brief moment of distraction can change the entire outcome. On the rocky shores, sea lions, close relatives of seals, can weigh up to 800 pounds and carry a rich layer of energy-dense fat. For certain specialized orcapods, they have long been an important food source during the breeding season. Beneath the deep blue surface, dark shapes nearly blend into the calm sea. They hold their positions patiently, observing every small movement near the shoreline. If a young sea lion swims too far out, or an individual drifts slightly away from the group, the quiet balance is instantly broken. Using the momentum of rising waves, the orcas deploy one of nature's boldest hunting strategies: intentional beaching. The massive body slides close across the sand to reach the target, then quickly pivots back towards deeper water before the hunter itself faces danger. It is a calculation that demands near-perfect precision, where even the smallest misjudgment can change the entire outcome. If the target escapes into deeper offshore waters, a different phase begins. The orcas move in with a pincer-like formation, cutting off any path back toward land. Every movement unfolds in coordinated rhythm, guided by the experienced female leader, the matriarch, who plays a central role in the group's strategy. Beneath the mirror-like surface of the Eastern Pacific, a demanding struggle for survival quietly unfolds between close relatives of the same lineage. Dolphins, remarkable swimmers capable of reaching speeds above 20 miles per hour, now face a challenge far beyond their physical limits. The orca. When the pursuit begins, the ocean surface seems to split apart as dolphins leap in urgent bursts. Yet below the water, the orca pod has already formed a dense network of echolocation, locking onto every direction of movement. They advance in a pincer-like formation, steadily guiding the target toward less favorable waters. In the instant the most vulnerable individual becomes separated, an orca delivers a powerful underwater strike. Using its great mass and momentum, it surges upward from below, generating a force of thousands of pounds that leaves the target unable to continue. The encounter concludes with remarkable precision. In the world of orcas, a deep understanding of an opponent's behavior becomes the most effective advantage, turning even the ocean's swiftest swimmers into part of the endless cycle of survival. Gray whales are among the ocean's most enduring travelers. Each year, they leave the cold northern feeding grounds and move toward warmer lagoons off Mexico, where a new generation begins its life. Beside her calf, a mother whale weighing around 90,000 pounds becomes a living wall, placing her body between the young one and any unusual movement beneath the deep water. Along the 12,000-mile migration route, their greatest challengers are the patient shadows of the sea, orcas. They do not rely on sudden aggression, but on gradual pressure, using deeper waters to weaken the bond between mother and calf. The encounter can last for hours, as orcas apply an isolation strategy, steadily wearing down their target through carefully timed approaches. Here, the confrontation is not only a contrast between size and numbers, it is a test of endurance, of a mother's instinct to protect her calf, and of the relentless conditions the ocean places on every migration. The presence of orcas, particularly around young whales, can influence the survival of new calves and shape the rhythm of population recovery from season to season. The snake surges forward, seizing the smallest opening to take control of the moment. With no showmanship, it only needs to lock onto the right weak point to make another hunter hesitate. Its advantage is speed, precision, and an almost chilling ability to read an opponent's rhythm. A delay of even half a second can flip the balance of survival instantly. And when the hunter is suddenly pulled into a reactive position, who stays calm enough to make it through? In the natural world, a legless body is often seen as a disadvantage. But with around 4,000 species spread across the planet, everywhere except Antarctica, and isolated islands like Ireland or New Zealand, snakes have turned that limitation into an ultimate advantage. Many species rely on venom like a biological switch to quickly weaken a target, while constrictors use pressure and positioning to control and overpower. Within ecosystems, snakes are both hunters and population regulators, an unseen balancing force, but an extremely important one. Unlike most snakes that choose to stay hidden, the black mamba is known for an unusually intense territorial instinct. It is not only an animal, but a symbol of caution across the African savanna. Over short distances, it can move at about 12 miles per hour, fast enough to stay in control instead of fading into the brush. When a lion crosses paths with a black mamba, the tension spikes in an instant, and one wrong step can change everything. The black mamba is not intimidated by the lion's size. Instead, it may move forward aggressively and continue pressuring an intruder. From its dark mouth, the black mamba's biological toxins can spread quickly, affecting the nervous system and movement. This can cause the king of the savanna to lose coordination and gradually become unable to function. In severe neurotoxin exposure, this can happen in as little as about 20 minutes. Because of that, the biggest mistake is not a lack of strength, but a lapse in caution. Nature's rule is cold and simple. Respect distance, read the signals, and step back at the right time. Sometimes that is the smartest form of survival. If nature had a title for pure toughness, the honey badger would almost always be on the short list. It is much smaller than many opponents, yet it survives with a no-back-down attitude, willing to close in even on snakes with powerful venom. The secret is in its build. Skin that is about 0.24 inches thick and relatively loose. When it gets caught in an attack, the honey badger can still twist inside that armor, push back, and slip out of a tight hold. It does not rely on size, but on angles, rapid direction changes, and impressive endurance. At times, after venom exposure, a honey badger can lapse into a still state for a few hours, and then recover, like a brief pause in a harsh cycle. When it comes back, it moves off in silence, as if it has just completed a desert test. The toughest is not the reckless one, but the one that can stand up again after the stumble. In Florida's wetlands, a struggle for control is unfolding. The Burmese python, an invader weighing nearly 200 pounds and stretching about 20 feet, is reshaping the survival rules of the Everglades. With its massive size, it is not just a reptile, it is a consumption machine with few true equals. The mistake younger American alligators make is underestimating the strength behind those tightening coils. The moment contact happens, the python uses powerful muscle to generate overwhelming pressure, neutralizing the Florida icon's famous jaws. In this clash between two wetland heavyweights, the traveler from Southeast Asia can gradually push a native heavyweight into a losing position. With more than 100,000 individuals spreading, their presence is an alarm bell. As the Burmese python's coils draw in, it is not only overwhelming a single animal, it is also tightening its grip on the balance of an entire American ecosystem. A harsh lesson in what happens when an invader becomes a dominant force. In the humid forests of Asia, the king cobra and the mongoose are long-standing rivals. When they cross paths, tension rises instantly. One is the world's longest venomous snake, reaching about 18 feet, lifting its body like a watchtower, always ready to burst into motion. The other stays compact and low to the ground, eyes locked in, ready to change direction in an instant. As the distance closes, the king cobra drives a rapid series of strikes, trying to herd the mongoose into a narrow gap. The mongoose answers with lightning reflexes, around 20 milliseconds, slipping along the edge of danger, then snapping sideways to disrupt and force the snake to pivot. At times, the face-off turns into a breathless chase through tree roots and leaf litter. If the king cobra cannot pin down a vulnerable opening, its stamina drops with each raised display. As the rhythm breaks, the mongoose can move in closer and pressure the opponent to back away. And in the wild, the king cobra does not only pursue other species. When food becomes scarce, it may compete aggressively even with its own kind, sometimes even young king cobras newly separated from their mother. It is a way to maintain energy, but it can also raise the risk of conflict and territorial disputes. The clicking sound carries across the open savanna like a countdown. The rattlesnake is activating its warning system. Without any display, it stays hidden in near-perfect camouflage, waiting for the moment to surge into action. In the world of snakes, this is what decisive survival looks like. When a red-tailed hawk drops in, a highly technical survival dance begins. The snake does not give ground. It holds a tight defensive posture, repeatedly launching lightning-fast moves to maintain distance. This is a clash of elite reflexes. The hawk glides and dodges the dangerous snaps, waiting for a brief opening to drive in with sharp talons and decide the moment in only a few seconds. On the ground, the roadrunner chooses a different approach, using speed to play with risk. With millisecond-level reflexes, it makes hard, sudden direction changes that neutralize the snake's snap in an instant. In that moment, the savanna becomes a racetrack of nerves and timing, where no one is an absolute ruler. Each species holds its own key to survival: warning signals, razor-sharp vision, or speed beyond the limit. In these harsh encounters, safety is never guaranteed. In the natural world, eagles are often seen as an undeniable nemesis of reptiles. Yet in the sky, the line between hunter and target can blur in an instant because of one decisive turn. The sky's top predator makes its biggest mistake when its talons fail to gain a secure hold. Right in midair, the snake uses its extreme flexibility, twisting nearly 180 degrees and coiling upward. In a dramatic moment of free fall, it snaps into a direct defensive move against the one holding on. Instead of leaving obvious physical damage, biological toxins begin to take effect, disrupting the hunter's ability to control its wings. The numbness can lead to a complete loss of control, turning the pursuit into a sudden reversal. Between the clouds, the winner is not always the stronger one, but the one that holds on to the will to survive until the final second. In the shade along forest edges and rocky ground, the leopard moves like a wisp of smoke, silent, precise, and always keeping an exit. It can weigh over 100 pounds and haul prey into a tree as if it were routine. But around snakes, pure muscle is no longer an absolute advantage. What matters is caution. When it notices a thin, cord-like motion in dry grass, The leopard does not rush in. It circles wide, drops its center of gravity, and tests the space with a front paw, as if measuring distance. One mistimed feint can turn curiosity into risk, so it chooses the safer method. Pressure the opponent into revealing its position, then ease back the moment a warning signal appears. Sometimes, the encounter ends with nothing more than a step away. The leopard understands that a meal is not worth trading away its mobility, the trait that carries it through long, dry seasons. On the ground of a solitary hunter, true skill is not about charging in, but about knowing when to pass and keep ruling in silence. Orcas dominate the ocean not only through strength, but through intelligence and strategy. Each hunt reveals the near-perfect coordination of this remarkable predator. Across the demanding open sea, they continue to hold their place at the top of the natural hierarchy. For those who want to keep exploring the astonishing strategies of the wild, press like and subscribe so the next chapter is never missed.